Australia, the wide brown land. For close to 2 centuries, our economy rode on the sheep's back. But things have changed. Today, over 3 million Australians live below the poverty line. And for those still trying to make a living in the country, the struggle's never been so real. In this series, we'll meet those who depend on the land.
Water is the lifeblood of our farm.
Battling a drought that could become the worst in 400 years.
The last 2 years have been the most difficult.
A very frightening time because you just don't know when droughts are going to end.
And it's not just the farmers. Some regional towns are doing it tough too.
I worry about my children's safety every day, every single day.
We're going to get rocks thrown at us. There we go.
Feeling abandoned.
My house is trashed, mate.
I've got knives, I've got bloody iron bars and everything in my place.
Some country Australians have had enough.
The ball went in the window after it hit the mirror. Who the you, mate?
Cars have been stolen and they dump them on our oval and they burn them.
Like there was flames.
With emergency services stretched,
it's the worst suburb that I've ever lived in.
limited access to health services,
He's had seizures, bone disease, got kidney disease.
and some struggling to even put a roof over their head.
There's plenty of people breaking the laws. Why are they picking on me for?
Are rural Australians fed up
I don't think city people really understand what we're going through at all.
and ready to leave?
I don't think there's a future here.
Country's gone mad.
Southwest New South Wales, a region known as the Riverina. It's one of the most productive and agriculturally diverse areas in the country. They call it the food bowl of Australia. But one of the worst droughts on record is making life tough.
The cost of water, the cost of grain, fodder, everything just keeps going up.
National labour shortages and complicated government water allocations. It's a story familiar to farmers in many parts of the country.
We're getting stuffed around by the water situation at the moment. It just doesn't make sense.
The enthusiasm for the industry is, for most people, it's disappearing.
Towards the Victorian border on the southwest fringe of the Riverina is the town of Deniliquin, or Denny to the locals. Denny produces rice, wool, timber and dairy. But milk production levels are down, and the only thing that will solve that is rain.
You ready? Do you want to come with Daddy?
Barry and Rosie are dairy farmers. They're also parents to 2-year-old Annabella and 5-year-old Lincoln.
Come on, let's go.
It's 6 a.m. in the morning and it's over 33 degrees. Forecast today is 47 degrees, which is probably one of the hottest days in the year. So we've had a drought, so we haven't had a decent year now in over 4 years.
Barry runs 350 head of dairy cows.
I know most of them without looking at their tags, and a fair few of them actually don't have tags, and I probably still know them.
It's a job that's been in Barry's family for 4 generations.
It's the only thing I've ever done during my life, and you've got a job every day of the year. I'm going to be 54 tomorrow, and Rosie's 49, and at our age, it gets harder and harder to do what you have to do.
And that includes twice daily milking with kids in tow.
How do you like being a dairy farmer's wife?
Yeah, don't marry one.
How come?
It's hard work. It's hard, long hours.
Prior to meeting Rosie, Barry struggled through the millennial drought on his own.
Yeah, I don't think he's coping real well. He's been through one drought and to go through another one. I don't know if it's easier on your own or not. I guess he's got a lot more to think about now. He's got a family. Try to give him the support back home. Doesn't seem to be enough sometimes.
Battling the heat and the drought is one challenge. Being underpaid for your product makes it even tougher.
We have had a massive drop in our milk price.
Since 2011, the dairy industry has been at odds with the major supermarket chains on fixed-price milk.
The price we are getting, it's just you can't make money. There's just no way you can make money. I heard another local farmer tell me that one of the main Victorian manufacturers are not expecting to have any farmers left on this side of the border by the time this drought finishes, because the milk price that the manufacturers can pay, it's just too low. It's been the perfect storm. Low milk prices, low rainfall, and this year the heat's been really high.
With the cost of running the farm higher than their paycheck, time is running out for Barry and Rosie.
I don't think there's a future here. I believe there's only about 55 days left of feed and water that we have available to us. And unless something changes, there's no future for dairying here in this place.
You would definitely feel like you've failed if you had to sell the cows. I don't ever intend to get to that stage that you just have to give up.
Across the country, when farmers are feeling the pinch, you don't have to look far to see the knock-on effects. Less money to spend in town means many places have been hit hard. It's a domino effect that has small business across the country closing their doors.
The farmers don't have rain, then so they don't have the money then to come into town to spend the money. So they won't come in, they won't go to a restaurant, they won't go to a coffee shop because they don't have the money. The money needs to be put back into the farms.
Some folk drift to the capital cities, others to regional centres like Wagga Wagga.
Well, I guess it's basically pretty much your big Aussie town, sort of like everyone still knows everyone, everyone's still pretty like true blue, I guess.
For those who find work, the rewards can be great.
Wagga is a good area, there's lots of support and lots of help.
I find it safe here and my kids really love being here.
It's a friendly place.
But like any city, there are always those struggling on the fringe. 5 kilometres south of the CBD, suburbs Ashmont and Tolland paint a very different picture.
They just call Ashmont Trashmont.
Ashmont. People in Sydney know the name Ashmont.
It's mainly housing commission and low-income families.
It's just all Deros and Bogans and Gronks.
And a lot of the major problems here is because people have nothing to do, they like to do drugs.
These stolen cars and stuff and domestic violence, drugs.
Oh, mate, there's that many druggies coming to the place.
The area's become a hot spot for a particular kind of crime.
Cars stolen and burnt out and houses on fire.
In 2018, over 140 cars were stolen and set alight in the streets around here.
It's been chaos.
Cars have been burnt out and stolen. Of course I'm worried. You know, you'd be mad not to be worried.
And even my cat won't even come out sometimes.
Wagga Wagga also makes the top 10 for home burglaries in New South Wales.
Went away looking after a mate, and I come back this morning, and everything out of my house is gone. My TVs, my kids' jewellery, everything.
28-year-old Mason lives in Tolland with his 2-year-old daughter, Susiana, and her mother, Catherine.
This is my lounge room.
Oh, calm down. There's jewellery boxes up like the hallway and like smashed up phones and stuff.
Visiting a friend for the night, Mason and Catherine have returned to find their Housing Commission home ransacked.
Through the laundry cupboard. They've been through that cupboard. My mum's great-great-grandmother's ring was in the bedroom, and now that's gone. They even went through my pantry. They even went through my cupboards. Went through my medicine cabinets.
Mason and Catherine see the house as more than just 4 walls and a roof.
Been here just over 3 years.
I was just over 12 weeks pregnant. Sorry. And can't believe it.
With the house in disarray, 2-year-old Susiana is staying with family.
I brought my daughter her very first bracelet, and that's gone.
Wish it wasn't so personal, and that's how it is when they've been in your home. You know, obviously you got to move on. You know, we've got a little girl to think about.
I don't want Susan back here while it's like this.
Yeah, I don't want her in this house like this either. I don't care about the materialistic shit. It's the jewellery that we can't replace.
Family friend Ethan has come over to lend some support.
I've had it done to me too, so I know the feeling, but just for people that'd do anything for anyone, take their own clothes off their own back, you know what I mean? Fuck, you could be walking down the road with no shoes on and you know what I mean, they'd feel sorry for you and run out with a pair of shoes here. Like,
oh, we may as well sit down and watch TV, eh? See what's on the idiot box.
You don't mind if I intervene and watch too?
No, you're my brother, you watch TV too.
Ethan's visually impaired, he can't see, so it works great for him.
A spare set of keys is missing. Catherine calls public housing to replace the locks.
I've had my house broken into during the night and they've taken house keys.
Why has it taken so long? Oh, because I've sat on the floor and I've cried for hours. Like, and that, the first thing, I didn't think, my house is trashed, mate, from the ground up. I did not realise a set of keys were even being taken.
But when you're down, sometimes things only get worse. Public housing informed them that they need to buy the locks themselves.
She even Googled how much the locks were from Bunnings.
Yeah, to tell me, it's all right, it's only $56.
Yeah, it's good for you. We can't afford it, like,
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, no worries.
With Mason currently looking for work and Catherine raising 2-year-old Susiana as a stay-at-home mum, absorbing the cost isn't easy.
She even said, oh, yeah, get hold of Mission Australia or Docs, you know, tell them you're worried about your welfare and your kids' welfare.
I've rang the police, they're on their way.
Police come, more just to check in, make sure we're right.
When the police can't help, you're on your own.
I don't know, if they don't catch them, I'll find them, I'll break their fingers or I'll burn them so they can't steal nothing else. Well, I'm more angry and upset for my daughter's shit, nothing else. Like, I am upset for everything else.
Look, Mason, look.
What?
The bracelets.
Are yours or? Yours or?
Wait, the gold bracelets are here. I found my mum's ring. I'm dead set, look. That's all I cared about.
Wow.
I just want to ring my brother and let him know.
They're scumbag. Do you want me to hold them?
Nah, it's all good.
You sure?
Oh yeah, just put them away.
Put them in my bum bag.
It's a bit of a relief.
I'm surprised.
So now I just want to get Mason's grandmother's ring back.
Here you go, bros.
Because that was only just handed over to him. And it's something he, you know, could have passed on to his daughter.
Recovering some of the jewellery is a small consolation when you don't feel safe in your own home.
It's not that I don't want to stay. I do. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I'm trying to laugh and just get through. I'm just cranky because it is my home. I want to be able to stay home. I can't believe it, hey.
One in 7 Australians are aged 65 years or older. 1/3 of those on the aged pension rely on it as their main source of income, which is tough when it's not much more than the poverty line.
Well, pensions are struggling. We've paid for our pension and the politicians are stealing, and I mean stealing.
Wilkes Park in North Wagga is a free caravan site, popular with older Australians enjoying their retirement. As well as the grey nomads, the park is home to some more permanent residents, including 72-year-old Bob.
Look at me, I don't look that old, but I am 72, believe it. No, not many people believe me.
A simple tent has always been his home, but for the past 8 months, he's been renovating.
That's my tent. I've had that for the last 5 years, and then I found this shelf here up out in the bushes here, so I brought that over and I said, oh, well, that'll be good for putting my cups and saucers on and everything. I found this gas bottle, and I said to myself, well, now I've got an 8-kilo gas bottle, I'm going to have to buy a stove. So I went down and I spent $120 and I brought this nice cast iron 2-burner stove, and it does everything I want it to do. This bucket here is for what I bath in, and all I do is get the hot water from here and just tip it over myself like that, a whole bucket, and there, bingo. You wouldn't even know I'm camping out.
Having a place to call home is every Australian's dream. But early on in life, Bob didn't have a home or a family.
My mother decided she would get rid of us. She packed all our gear one Saturday afternoon. She said, oh, we're going on a long drive. Then she parked inside the car park at the boys' home and grabbed me by the arm and she said, come on, you little bastard, and dragged me in, and then she knocked on the door and she says, I don't want him now, you can have him. She just handed the Salvation Army lady a note with my birth date on it and my name, and that's all. And then she just left. And she never even looked back at me. I was 7 when I went in. I do need a haircut, but I'm going to get one tomorrow.
Bob left the care of the Salvation Army at the age of 18. Like many young men, he was conscripted to fight in Vietnam. Luckily for Bob, the war ended before he saw any action. And after returning home, he hit the road on a different tour.
One day I was reading a magazine and I saw this photo of this bloke and this woman on a push bike riding, and I read it, and they were riding around Australia. And I said, good, Bob, you just found yourself a lifestyle. Been travelling around on my push bike now for 41 years. I have always done seasonal work. I start in New South Wales, go to Queensland, I go to Perth, I do all sorts. I do garlic, onions, apples, oranges, pears, chipping, cotton. I've done all the seasonal work, every single one that you can think of.
After countless jobs and hundreds of thousands of kilometres, Bob's finally had to call it quits.
I fell off my bike And then one thing led to another, and I found out that I had the largest and the most complicated cataract that they'd ever seen in their history, in their medical career, and I'm still suffering from it.
Bob needs an operation. And with surgeons as rare as hen's teeth in the bush, he's going to have to stay put. For now, at least.
I've got to have an operation. That's going to cost it over $6,000. So I'm camping out here so I can save the money up to pay for that.
Like 1/3 of older Australians, Bob gets by on the age pension. Payments vary, but typically it's around $463 a week.
People turn around and look upon you and say, oh, he's a bludger. He's a bludger. He's bludging off the government. No, I get my pension, but you know how much tax I've paid over the years? Couple of hundred grand. Don't you think I've earned the right to have the pension?
After 8 months of saving, Bob is finally ready for his operation. And tomorrow morning, his cataract will be removed.
It's not easy, but I think a lot of people make living on the pension harder for themselves because smoking, drinking and gambling. They are the three that take your money. I don't drink, I don't gamble and I don't smoke. The only person I can blame for living like this is myself. I can't blame the government. I can't blame that person. I can't blame the council. Years ago, I should have saved my money. And I wouldn't be in this situation now.
On average, a car is set on fire every 3 days in Wagga.
Oh, it's a terrible, dirty job. Third one today.
Losing a car is rough, but that is nothing compared to having your home set alight. Frank and Tina have lived locally for over 20 years and have seen it all.
There's been that many burnt here, right?
Over the years. You drive around in the Ashmont area, burnt houses everywhere.
In suburbs Ashmont and Tolland, vacant housing commission properties are easy targets for arsonists.
None of us can go out for a nice night out to have tea or anything because there must be somebody always in the house.
There's not going to be any houses left here soon. They're going to burn the bloody lot down.
Having witnessed dozens of arson attacks over 20 years, Frank and Tina have their suspicions about who's responsible.
Obviously, it's a lot of these juveniles that are burning them down. I don't know whether it's drug-related or they're just doing it because they can do it and get away with it.
Frank spent most of his life as a station hand in the bush, but he's retired now and keeps an eye on the neighbourhood.
Oh, I think these kids were breaking into a house on the corner. That's all. They're only juveniles, only little fellas, only probably 9 or 10. Right? Sort of kindergarten. They're just starting to learn the trade, that's all, you know. Give them a few years when they're 15, 16, 17, cracking on the ice. Mate, they'll have to get serious about it, then they'll be stealing the big stuff. But now they're just apprentices, they're just learning. You know, that's why the coppers will give them a little slap, little tap on the wrist and they can go and do it again tomorrow. So, that's life, that's Ashmont. That's the way it goes.
Years of living in Ashmont have given Frank and Tina a unique perspective on crime in the area.
Yeah, there's disenfranchised people here. You can't condone what they do, but at the same time you've got to try and understand why they do what they do. This is a generational thing. This isn't just a new generation of kids that popped up and say this is what we're going to do. Right? This is probably third, maybe pushing fourth generation of being in this situation, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the nice flash stuff. They don't have the opportunities given to them. I don't, for a minute, blame the kids in a lot of ways. They didn't set out to be like this. I think we as a bloody society, we made them like it, right? We made their parents like it. At the same time, you got to feel sorry for the people who are victimised, for the, the people who've gone to work and work 10 and 12 hours a day to buy the car, to buy the house, to buy the TV, whatever, and someone comes in and, just takes it and destroys it. That's got to be pretty heartbreaking for people. It's got to be really upsetting for them.
A few blocks away in neighbouring suburb Tolland, Mason and Catherine are still recovering from their recent break-in.
I still got it, like, every time I walk through the door, I get a yucky feeling and want to be sick and shit.
Their priority is to make the house safe for 2-year-old daughter, Susiana.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time she's come in the house, literally. Like, I think the biggest plan is just to try and get the kitchen and lounge room emptied and do it up a bit. Yeah, I know you want to clean. You cleaning? Thank you. You want to get your cloth and you can clean your stool.
They were generous and left one behind.
Look, what's that? Your TV? When I fell pregnant with Susiana, I was only just starting to pick my life up again because I'd sort of gone, I wouldn't say off the rails, but I certainly had got myself into a hole, drinking and taking drugs. Mummy? Yeah, Mummy has to do that one. I had to quickly pull my head like in and start thinking about like what I wanted. Yeah, maybe we can get someone to paint it. Yeah,
Having worked hard to get their life on track for Susiana, the break-in has Catherine feeling like she's going backwards.
But I still am not, I'm not feeling comfortable at all. Some people say get the heck out of there. It's okay that you don't feel safe. Susiana, everything is just, you know, I don't know if I'll feel safe here at all. Like, I don't even know if it's the whole town now has taken it. You know, I don't know. Susiana's getting to 3. Like, do I want her to go to school here? Do I want her growing up in this community? Do I not, you know?
Catherine fears if they leave the house, they might become the target of further attacks.
I just wish I could pack up the house and know that it's gonna be here. So I think if I was guaranteed that my home would, you know, that what's left would still be here, then I'd go for a little bit. But I'm just too scared that what little I've got left will be taken too or destroyed. That's all I've got left.
Too skint to move out and too scared to stay put, the worry is taking its toll. "250 kilometres southwest of Wagga is Deniliquin. With no rain and only a month or two of feed and water, Barry and Rosie are staring down the prospect of eventually having to sell the farm.
Where are your boots?
Daddy just spoke to you, didn't he? Yes? We're looking for Lincoln's hat.
After a lifetime of work, it's hard to think of letting go.
I don't think it's going to rain again. No, it's reality, isn't it? You know, I'm only 54, but I've been doing roughly 80 hours work a week for 30-something years.
Strapped for cash, they've had to let their evening workers go. So Rosie steps in.
I didn't think I'd have to do it full time because we had workers, but yeah, things changed.
You got it?
With no one to watch the kids, Lincoln and Annabella are also off to the dairy.
All right, we better get going, hadn't we?
Where are we?
Okay, children spend most mornings and evenings at the dairy, and you know, to the majority of Australians that would seem very strange that your children, but that's what they're used to.
Barry gets the cows with Annabella, and me and Lincoln come up and we start the milking, and then Barry comes and joins us after we've got the first row on.
With one eye on the cows
You sure? Why are you rubbing your eyes?
and one on Lincoln, Rosie has her hands full.
Let me know when you got it together. It's not enough money to pay somebody to come in. 2 years ago we had morning and afternoon milkers.
Yes, it took a fair bit of getting her used to the idea you could be a mother and a dairy farmer. It was a little bit foreign, that idea, to Rosie for a little while.
On average, 20 children under 15 suffer fatal injuries on farms each year in Australia.
Oh yeah, you're always watching to see what they're doing, just to make sure they're not sort of putting themselves in danger. And they're on a farm, there's just so much potential danger. Yeah, we used to have them in this pen that we've turned into a calf pen here. And Lincoln spent most of his time trying to work out how to get out.
I allow them to know this is work, it's not time for me to play, it's time for me to work. And they just have to entertain themselves.
Yeah, most of the time you love them. There's certainly sometimes when you, they do things that well and truly annoy you.
Barry and Rosie know firsthand what it's like to almost lose a child.
This is where Lincoln got stuck back in January last year. He followed me out into the pit at the end of the milking. The rotary platform was sort of going around for the final time to get it into the right position to put the water through, and I didn't realise I kept on going down the yard, and I got to the bottom of the yard, and then we heard the screams, and he was stuck in the rotary platform, and luckily Rosie was in the right spot where she could just jam on the brakes. So he was jammed, sitting on this, jammed underneath this bar. Yeah, so it was like, you know, there's just a tiny bit of movement in that, and yeah, he was just absolutely squashed. And yeah, I came in from the top, and Rosie was at the bottom, and it was only Lincoln screaming at us to reverse it, because we had I thought I was going to have to get the angle grinder out and cut him out. But yeah, Lincoln just kept on telling us to reverse it, which we did. Yeah, how did you get to hospital?
And with him, we got there.
Yes, you were in the helicopter, weren't you?
Lincoln's body was wedged between two metal bars. His muscles and tiny frame were squashed. Over 12 months on, there's still the possibility of long-term damage.
We've been waiting now for 6 months to get an appointment in Melbourne for them to do a biopsy of his muscles for us to learn what the outcome is going to be. If he is just going to slowly lose his muscles, I think that would make the decision to give up daring a bit easier. So your family is the most important thing. You realise as you're getting older, and if there is something wrong with him, he'll come first.
3 weeks after having his cataract removed, today is an important day for Bob.
Today's my big day because today is hopefully it is my last visit.
He needs to see his specialist for an update on his condition.
It's still a bit sore when I touch it there, so I don't know. I'm not sure whether he'll give me the all clear, because my eye has to be perfect. And I just don't want to pack up and leave without the all clear.
If the results aren't good, Bob's eyesight could deteriorate. And that means living the way he has been is out of the question.
I'll see you when I come out. Hello, hi. Well, I've just seen my registrar. Unfortunately, as I expected, the news is not good. I haven't been cleared to go back bush again or go back to my previous lifestyle. So I'm stuck in Wagga now where I am camping for another 4 weeks.
He's been instructed to keep his eye clean, which is not easy when you're camping by a main road with no running water. And for Bob, the alternatives don't bear thinking about.
Asking me to give up my push bike and go and live in a flat, right? It's just like asking a duck, you can't go and swim and can't go in the water because your toenails have just been painted and you're going to ruin your toenail paint. No, that's not going to happen.
Back at Wilkes Park, and fellow camper Kev delivers more bad news.
The rangers are real early and they come down there. I'm a whack, but they don't.
Yeah.
They come down there and they were to see you, I suppose, and then they went down the back there.
And what'd they do down the back?
I don't know.
You don't know?
They had a yarn down there and that was it.
Camping for over 8 months is against council regulations.
So I'm starting to wonder whether the council is trying to get rid of me and then trying to get rid of everyone else.
If the Rangers return, Bob's keen to get his facts straight.
Well, we got here, see, as you can see, Wilkes Park's condition of use, as I thought. It's got the maximum period of use allowed is self-contained vehicle of 72 hours. Some people have been here more than 72 hours. Some people have been here for bloody months and weeks. There's plenty of people breaking the laws. Why are they picking on me for? Have they got something against me or something like that? What harm is there of me staying here? What harm am I doing?
2 weeks after having their house broken into, life is slowly returning to normal for Mason and Catherine.
They're not stickers. Yeah, they're not stickers, they're tattoos. Okay. Yeah.
Mason is unemployed and looking for work, but today he's doing odd jobs around the house.
Front door service.
And with the temperature expected to soar well into the 40s, his next job is to move the aircon from Susanna's room into the living room.
Mason!
Oh, the cunt fell out the window.
Mason!
It's still good.
Mason! It is not good! It is not funny! That's the only aircon we got! It just fell out the window! It's not funny! Oh!
Oh, there's me fucking black bin.
What bin?
There. The one we pick up dog shit with.
This is what happens when he tries to do things himself.
Well, you know what? Meet me at the other window, because I'm going to lift it up from this end.
All right, then.
Move, dog, before you get run over by an air conditioner.
You're going to break your back, Mason. You got a bad back. Your back is stuffed anyway. Stop! No! That's as far as you're going to go. Can we wait till we get some help?
Who bought?
The aircon's going to be outside the house now. I hope you're happy. We had a little bit of cooling, now we've got none. What the f did you do? Don't smash my window! Wait, Mason! Don't let it go backwards again. All right, come forward, come forward. Ah! Lift! Lift! Lift, Mason! Ah!
Carly, again, baby! That's the worst.
Yeah. Something needs to go at the back.
That gonna be too high?
Well, mate, anything's better than nothing right now. Oh, it is a little bit high, but we'll build it up from this side.
Yeah, done.
In Denny, 3 hours drive southwest of Wagga, it's 8:30 at night.
Let's go, gals!
And and the evening milk is finally over. Another long and tiring workday draws to a close.
All right, do you want to let Dad sit down in his chair? Good boy. What time is it, Lincoln?
Bedtime. Time to get a watch, Daddy.
Less interrupted.
There once was a small boy called Lincoln.
No, Mum.
His house was next door to the old people's home, and he knew the people who lived there.
After 16 hours on her feet,
Night, Lincoln. See you in the morning.
Good morning, Mummy.
Rosie finally sits down for dinner.
9:45 at night. It's so late, Barry.
With only a month or two of feed and water for the herd, Barry and Rosie need rain or they'll be in serious trouble.
Yeah, we look at the weather probably about 3 or 4 times a day on the Weather Channel. So yeah, you just hope something's going to happen.
Now, on Tuesday we'll have heavy falls for Tasmania, light showers for southern Victoria, South Wales, much of Australia.
We get any of that?
No, it's gone.
And through inland areas of the country, we've got a very large high pressure system.
How far away are the cows in the morning?
Quite a long way.
With each passing day, the future of the farm is fading.
Unless something unbelievable changes, yeah, there's not a lot of future for dairying.
Yes, Lincoln.
In Wilkes Park, North Wagga, Bob's had a restless night.
When I got home yesterday and I was told about the council snooping around my tent and everything, nothing much has happened. This morning I was up early, I was up at 6 o'clock, I had my bath and everything. You never know, they might just come around a bit earlier than, than normal.
Council rangers were seen looking around Bob's camp, and in the light of day, he's convinced they'll be back.
I've been here nearly 8 months. I would like to stay here a little bit longer until I sort myself out. Here comes the ranger. Here comes the ranger. There he is. That's him.
After one lap of the park,
He's just driving off.
Bob's off the hook.
I was expecting him to come over, but no.
At least for now.
Oh dear, this guy. It's unusual. I don't know what to make of it, Because he normally comes down and drives around here, then down there, and then drives around between the caravans. But he didn't do that.
With the ranger gone, Bob's back to his old self.
I'm always smiling. I'm always like this. I see that fella there, that's my friend. I feed him. I'll feed him 3 times a day, I do, or when I'm here. And look at him, he's getting nice and fat. I was going to lop his head off for Christmas dinner, but I never had a pot big enough. He's waiting for tea. Hang on, quack, quack.
After sleeping on the threat of eviction for a second night, Bob's hatched a new plan.
I'm packing up and moving my stuff over the fence into Crown land. If I move over onto Crown land, just on the other side of the fence there, they can't touch me. Nobody can touch me.
Crown land falls under a different jurisdiction to council land, which means the park rangers won't be able to move Bob on.
I have to move because if I don't, they're only going to bring the police down, and that's the last thing I want.
Bob's found a solution to his council problem.
Ants.
But it means the end of 8 months of stability.
It's like everything I do, I just laugh it off as another experience in life. I mean, the council's only doing their job, So Yeah, so I mean, I got really nothing to complain about.
With his short-term housing situation sorted, a long-term solution requires more thought.
I got to think, do I want to go back and live in society? Or do I want to live in the bush where I can do my own thing?
It's a tough decision.
Oh, no. I've been on the road for 41 years, camping in tents and every day, and never had a proper roof over my head with 4 walls, with hot and cold running water, electricity and gas. I've never had that for 41 years. So, is this the life I want to live again?
We're off to a clearing sale of one of our local dairy farmers. Yeah, Dave has been in the area a lot longer than what I have, but due to the circumstances of the industry, and he's made the decision to exit the industry. And the farm's been sold to, as a cropping farm.
With increased costs, 1 in 4 Australian farmers say they're likely to leave the industry within the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'm guessing the tractors and the machinery that can get used in other industries, it will still make really good money, but the actual dairy items, will be way undervalued.
Everyone's looking for what they need. I'm a farmer and I need cattle troughs and whatnot. So you come and try and save a few dollars and go from there. You don't know people, we're all on the same boat, we're all doing the same thing. So everyone can relate to what's going on.
We've got 150 miles, 150, 120.
Farmers have travelled far and wide to save $1.
$70, 70 bid, 200, 180, 100.
Some find bargains.
150, yeah, run 2, or 150.
For David, it ends generations of farming heritage.
My grandfather was one of the first settlers in the district. Been in the area all my life. Sold the farm to a cropper. Yeah, so we're getting out. Gonna go and work for someone. So, yeah. Just I can trace some of our cows, our generations back to mid-60s. And not that I love each individual cow, but I love the group, and it's been tough.
The feeder, I bought this plus the 3 old buggered ones for $40. We went to Denny a week ago because we needed a couple of tits, and they're $11 each.
Barry's managed to pick himself up some cheap goods.
Yeah, this is just an old trough, so it was $5.
But seeing a fellow farmer leave the land casts a long shadow on Barry's future.
It's reality. It really is reality. You know, I'm quite aware that the way things are going, dairy farmers can't compete anymore. It probably... Yeah, getting rid of the cows will be the difficult thing. Talking to all the different farmers here today, you just realise how important an autumn break is going to be this year.
For Barry and Rosie, that break in the drought needs to come in a matter of weeks. It's been several weeks since the break-in, and although the house is cleaner and the locks have been changed, Catherine is still struggling to feel safe in her own home.
No, since the break-in, I'm not, I don't trust many people around here anymore.
I think I just want to get to a point where I feel strong enough mentally and physically to step out of the home a bit, because I struggle a shitload with it.
You want to go to the park?
Catherine and Susiana are heading to the local park.
Come here, I need to tell you something.
But at the front door, a group of kids is blocking their way.
Mason! What? These fellas here want the football.
I want a new mirror.
Family friend Ethan, who is visually impaired, along with Mason, had a run-in with the group earlier in the week. A ball was thrown, smashing the rear vision mirror of their ute.
I mean, $60 and you can have the football. Well, that's how much it's going to cost for a new mirror. Well, who did it then? That's why. Well, how'd the ball get in the car? That's why it's broken, and how can the ball get in my car?
Mason, Ethan's on his own out there. Mommy! Come on. Get inside, you can't see, you dumb. You're real trophy, Ethan.
Mason and Ethan's response leaves Catherine unimpressed.
You go out there, I said they want the ball. You have to be a show-off, big stand, or if I give the ball back, Ethan thinks he's Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
There's been a phone call made to cops, so I suggest you just move.
After 15 minutes of taunts back and forth, Catherine's had enough.
I'm just over it.
What? You were dumb because he was going in the room to get the football and you're still mouthing off your cheek. That's all right then. It's all right then. Keep being cheeky. He gone into the room and get the ball, but you're still mouthing off.
No, but this would happen, look.
La. The ball went in the window after it hit the mirror. Who the are you, mate? Off. Well, we were getting the ball, but your mouth's still going. I'll put a knife through the ball before you get it then, you little...
Facing the choice of $60 for a new mirror or proving a point to the local kids, Catherine finally gives in.
Kids these days don't have any respect like they used to. Something as simple as knocking on a door and apology, saying, oh, sorry for, being a dickhead the other day on the road and, smashing your mirror.
Everything that Catherine does, like, whether she's getting shitty, it's all in, reason. It's not just because she feels like getting up someone. She's a caring person. She doesn't want any dramas, nothing to happen.
A lot of kids around this area, they're just sitting on that line where they're either going to fall into the life that they'll regret when they're older, or they're gonna, do something with themselves. Hopefully they don't come back or carry on. I'm hoping they'll just being cheeky kids, but my problem is I don't know. It makes me just want to get out.
No matter where you call home, you'll do anything to protect it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my door. How I'm going to cope moving back into society, I got no idea. I wouldn't even contemplate.
You help Annabella, Lincoln? Lincoln! Tell me, little 5-year-old, that farmers never give up. And he regularly repeats that to me. He tells me that back. Farmers don't give up, Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Next time on Struggle Street.
They're on drugs. They couldn't steal it, so we'll demolish it.
It's getting more and more dangerous to camp out. The druggies, some of them have been bad, and I mean real bad bastards.
Methamphetamine. It was an everyday thing. It was just a part of my life. It's just shit.
The bore stopped working over the weekend. No wonder it stopped working.
For us, it's the end.